They called him Mute, not because he couldn't bark, but because he never did. He was found locked inside an old auto garage that had been closed for months. The neighbors had reported strange noises, but when police broke in, all they found was dust, rust, and a pit bull. He was chained near a broken sink. No water, no food. Just a worn blanket and a silence so thick it choked the air. He didn't snarl, didn't cower. He just sat there, staring. Not at the officers, at the open door, as if he couldn't believe. Freedom still existed. At the shelter, Mute was a mystery. Had scars on his legs, teeth worn flat, ears clipped short, but no one knew what he'd been through. He didn't respond to voices, didn't flinch at noise. He just watched. A volunteer, a woman in her late 20s with headphones always around her neck, took an interest in him. She'd sit outside his kennel, never talking. One day, she placed her phone near the glass. Soft piano melody filled the air. Mute's ears twitched. The next day, she played it again, and this time, he moved closer. She named him Sonata, because it wasn't words that reached him. It was music. She brought in a portable speaker, played classical jazz, acoustic guitar. Every day Sonata would sit a little closer. One day he rested his head against the bars. When she opened the gate, he didn't run. He didn't bolt. He just walked out slowly and sat beside her, still silent, but finally not alone. She adopted him 2 weeks later. Her apartment was small. It's filled with music posters, vinyl records, and soft lighting. She didn't speak much either, but they understood each other. Sonata followed her everywhere, not out of fear, but rhythm. He learned the sound of keys in the lock, the crackle of a record player, quiet hum of her voice when she sang to herself. He slept beside the speaker at night, and once, when a cello solo played, he barked. Just once, but it was enough to make her cry. Neighbors were cautious. A pit bull. They asked, "Is he safe?" She'd smile, placing headphones over his ears. "He's music." Over time, Sonata became known on the block. The music dog. The quiet one who watched kids play from the porch and nudged hands gently with his nose. At the park, a street performer once handed her a violin. She played a few notes, unsure, nervous. Sonata sat beside her like a statue. Then, as the melody swelled, he howled. Low, long, beautiful. People clapped. Some wiped tears. Sonata didn't know why. He just felt the music. Years passed. Sonata aged gracefully and in peace. His muzzle grayed, his pace slowed. But the music never stopped. On his final night, he lay curled beside the speaker. The same. Piano melody, playing softly. The woman, now older too, sat beside him, hand on his paw. "You gave me a voice," she whispered, "and you never said a word." Sonata's eyes closed. He let out a final, slow breath, and silence returned. But this time wasn't empty. It was full of everything they'd built together. She buried him beneath the old maple in the courtyard. Every Sunday she plays music from her balcony, and sometimes she swears she hears a low hum riding the wind. The neighbors don't ask questions anymore. They just smile, because they all remember the pit bull who never barked, but taught them how to listen.